Introducing for Poway National, Craig Behringer. The coach for Poway American, Steve Luckman. And now, tonight's roster for the visiting Poway National team. At shortstop, number 6, Claire Parker. On second base, number 10, Adam Thompson. In center field, number 4, Noah Behringer. On third base, number 13, Jesse Mills. On first base, number 7, Brian Lone Star. In the left field, number 8, Josh Riddle. In the right field, number 1, Mark Farrell. Pitcher's mound tonight, number 14, Lewis Garnett. His partner behind the pitcher's plate, number 16, Russell Whitman. Ladies and gentlemen, they are the Poway American All-Stars. National All-Stars. Tonight, I gotta keep them straight. Okay, introducing the starting lineup for Poway American. In center field, number 12, Matt Poole. Behind home plate, the catcher, number 10, Joey Pratt. At shortstop, number 13, Steve Guthrie. On first base, number 15, Gregor Connor. Pitching tonight for the Poway American All-Stars, number 14, Tim Stoner. On third base, number 16, David Escobar. In right field, number 4, Brandon Gibbs. On second base, number 6, Andrew Eric. In the left field, Jerome Templeton. Rounding out the Poway National roster tonight, number 12, Danny Vaughn. Number 5, Ryan Woodman. Number 3, Patrick Mueller. Number 11, Ryan Field. Number 9, Mark Lasinski. Rounding out the roster for the Poway Americans, number 2, David Damwick. Number 5, Matthew Luckerman. Number 7, Gregory Gart. Number 17, Armando Lopez. Ladies and gentlemen, they are the All-Stars from Poway. Tonight's umpires, our head umpire tonight is Mark Bernstein. On first base is Joel Ewad. On second base will be Jim Sullivan. And at third base, Joe Cribbin. Our umpires. Bernstein, if you get a team member from each team will say the Pledge of Allegiance and the pledge. First team, we get a player from each team.
It's that time of year once again here at Kit Carson Park in Escondido. Good evening, everyone. I'm Mike Benson for George Langevin Productions, welcoming you to District 31 Area Little League All-Star Play. It's Poway National going up against Poway American. Let's take a look at the defense for the American squad. Starting at first base, where number 15 is Gregor Connors. At second base is Andrew Eric. Starting in the shortstop spot is Steve Guthrie. David Escobar at third. Jerome Templeton starting out in left field. In center is Matt Cool. And rounding out the outfield for Poway American in right is Brandon Gibbs. Tim Spooner in your screen getting the starting nod on the pitcher's mound. And starting at catcher is Joey Prast as Blair Barker, the shortstop, steps in to lead things off for Poway National. The first pitch right down the pipe by Tim Spooner. Batting second is second baseman Adam Thompson. In the third spot, Noah Behringer. He's a center fielder. Batting cleanup, Jesse Mills, the third baseman. The delivery by Spooner. A little low, but Blair Barker taking a liking to that pitch. Takes a swing. Tim Spooner way ahead in the count. Batting fifth, playing first base, is Brian Lone Star. Followed by J.R. Riddle in left field. Mark Farrell in right field. We'll take a look at 8 and 9 here in a moment. The 0-2 delivery fouled back and away towards the backstop. Louis Gardet will start on the mound for Poway National, and Russell Whitman batting ninth is the catcher. No balls, 2 strikes the count on Blair Barker. The breaking ball just missing on the inside corner. Also seeing action in tonight's game for Poway National will be Danny Vaughn, Ryan Woodeman, Patrick Mueller, Ryan Field, and Mark Lizinski. Ball outside. Nice eye by Blair Barker. Takes 2 consecutive pitches. Evens up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Adam Thompson on deck for Poway National. A chopper right up the middle. That will get through for a base hit. So Blair Barker gets the job done as the leadoff hitter. He's on with a single. The manager for Poway National is Phil Thompson. The coach is Craig Behringer. For Poway American, the manager is Ed Eric, and they're coached by Steve Luckham, Tom Guthrie, Ron Prast, Rob Danwick helping out on the coaching end as well. Adam Thompson steps in for Poway National. Noah Behringer on deck. Ball high and inside, the throw down. And Blair Barker having no problem getting back in time. In the game previous to this game, Escondido Continental wins over Carmel Mountain Ranch, 8-2. Just missing on the outside corner. So the loser of this ball game will play against Escondido Continental in tomorrow night's game, and the winner here will go on to district play. Breaking ball just missing inside. 3 balls and no strikes the count on Adam Thompson. Ball outside, and that will send Adam Thompson to first with a walk. Blair Barker moves to second. So nobody down, runners on first and second. And catcher Joey Prass comes out to have a word with his pitcher Tim Spooner. The umpire for tonight's game is Mark Bernstein. At first base is Joel Ewan. At second is James Sullivan. And at third base is Joe Cribben. Noah Behringer starting in center field. Batting in the third spot at the plate for the national squad. Breaking ball just missing on the outside corner. Poway National defeating Borrego Springs by a big margin, 9-0. On the other hand, the American squad defeating Escondido Continental 6-1. So those the previous victories for each team. And that one a little high, but apparently just low enough to be called strike there. On deck is Jesse Mills and Brian Lone Star in the hole for Poway National. The athletes this evening 11 and 12 years of age. Squaring around to bunt and then taking it away is Noah Behringer. Had a notion to lay it down to try to sacrifice Blair Barker over to third and Adam Thompson to second. That pitch in the dirt by Tim Spooner. Tim Spooner delivers a chopper to third. Third baseman tagging third. Makes the play unassisted, so a fine play there by David Escobar. A slow roller to him, had to hustle up, then hustle back to the bag to make the play as they force Blair Barker out at third. Adam Thompson moves to second. And Noah Behringer reaches on the fielder's choice. So one down, runners on first and second for Jesse Mills, the third baseman. Breaking ball. Just missing on the pitch, but the batter, Jesse Mills, apparently swinging just far enough, went around far enough. Call strike. Brian Lone Star is on deck and J.R. Riddle in the hole. Second consecutive breaking ball by Tim Spooner. The fastball just missing on the outside corner. Sets the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes on Jesse Mills. A cool evening here at Kit Carson Park in Escondido. A little breeze in the air. Cool summer evening. That one right down the pipe. Evens the count at 2 apiece. Anything close, look to see Jesse Mills protecting here. Just missing outside. Fills the count up. So an important pitch coming up here. With 1 down and 2 runners on. And here comes the 3-2 delivery by Spooner. And that one roped to first base and almost making the double play was first baseman Gregor Connors, but to no avail. But a nice grab there by Gregor as that ball was drilled. Looked like it might get between the first and second baseman, and Gregor Connors right there to stab that one. So Jesse Mills can't feel bad about that one. Really hit that one on the line. So 2 down, runners on first and second. Tim Spooner having an opportunity to get out of a possible jam here with 1 runner in scoring position. Nails that one right down the middle to Brian Lone Star, the first baseman. On deck is J.R. Riddle, followed by Mark Farrell. Breaking ball, missing outside, and almost getting away from the catcher. Joey Prass doing a nice job to keep that one in front of him. Not allowing Adam Thompson to advance to third. Adam Thompson, the potential first run of the ball game here. Lone Star smacks that one out to right field. The right fielder right there to make the play, but he drops it. In and out of his glove. And Thompson will score. 1-0. The error on the right fielder. Brandon Gibbs. Might have been the lighting because it hit right in his glove. It seemed to have held there momentarily, then just dropped out. Might not have squeezed it hard enough. As Adam Thompson comes across for the first run, Noah Behringer moves to third. And on the air, Brian Lone Star able to move to second, so 2 down, runners on second and third. J.R. Riddle looks at the first pitch come right across the plate. J.R., the starting left fielder, with RBI time written all over his face here with 2 runners on. 1-0 Poway National. A little ahead of that pitch. So a nice turnout here tonight. A lot of fan support for both Poway squads. The bleachers on each side of the field filled tonight. J.R. Riddle, batting left-handed. Fouls that one back towards Prass. Prass makes the grab. But not before in the top of the first here on 1 hit, 1 error. Poway National picks up a run. Poway American coming up next. Let's take a look at Poway National. Starting at first base is Brian Lone Star. At second base is Adam Thompson. Starting in short is Blair Barker. And at third base is Jesse Mills. J.R. Riddle starting in left field. Noah Behringer in center field. And rounding out the outfield for the national squad is Mark Farrell in right field. Louis Garday starting on the mound for Poway National. And the catcher is Russell Whitman. Matt Cool, the center fielder, leading things off in the bottom of the first for Poway American. First pitch nailed. Good velocity there by Louis Garday. Nails that one right down the pike. A timeout call by first base umpire Joel Ewan. First baseman Brian Lone Star apparently having to adjust something in his pocket as that pitch goes right down and hits the outside corner. So Louis Garday finding a rhythm here in the order going. Ball low and outside. Batting second is Joey Prass, the catcher, followed by Steve Guthrie, the shortstop. In the cleanup spot is Gregor Connors. Batting fifth, Tim Spooner, followed by David Escobar. We'll take a look at 7, 8, 9 in a moment. Ball low and outside. Batting seventh is Brandon Gibbs. Andrew Eric in the 8th spot. And Jerome Templeton batting 9th. A chopper right back to the mound. Everybody hustling up to try to grab that one, including the third baseman who ended up with it. As David, or actually make that Jesse Mills pick that one up. The speedy Matt Cool was already 3/4, if not 90% the way down first base. So an infield single by Matt Cool. And that brings up the catcher, Joey Prass. Also seeing action This American League squad will be David Danwick, Matt Luckham, Greg Garst, and Armando Lopez. First pitch to Prast. Fouled here on the first base side. And out of play. Almost nailing our camera crew here on the first base side. On deck is Steve Guthrie. Gregor Connors in the hole for Poway American. They trail 1-0. Ball inside. George Langevin Productions presents Trivia Time. We'll have a question here for the players, and then we'll have a question for the parents as well. That trivia question coming your way right after this pitch. Louis Gardet delivers. A nice big cut there by Joey Prast. Unable to make contact. Here's a question for the players. We're at the All-Star break here in Major League Baseball. Which two players flirted with a .400 batting average? Almost batted .400 virtually the whole half the season. Just dipped below it as we watch Gardet deliver. And that one drilled out to right field. Matt Cool advances to second. So back-to-back singles for Poway American. And that brings up Steve Guthrie, the shortstop. But again, for the players, name the two players, one from each league, one American League player and one National League player, that flirted with a .400 batting average virtually the whole half of the season, have only just recently dipped to .395 and .391, I think, respectively, right around in that area. So see if you can name those two players. We'll have an answer for you in about the fourth inning or so as Guthrie squares to bunt. Looking to sacrifice Cool and Prast over. On deck is Gregor Connors and Tim Spooner for American. Here's the question for the parents. In May 13th, 1993, just a couple months ago, which player became only one of 6 players in modern-day baseball to have at least 3,000 hits and 300 RBIs? Name that player. The pitch to Guthrie. A gallant effort there. Steve Guthrie trying to lift one out of the ballpark with that swing. With 2 runners on. His eyes are getting big. So again, for the parents, which player joined 5 other players in modern-day baseball to have at least 3,000 hits and 300 RBIs as the delivery to Guthrie, a little late on the swing, and he'll go down on strikes. So 1 down, runners on first and second, brings up Gregor Connors. One to 0 the score. Poway National out in front. Poway American off to a nice start here. And that one is ripped out to left on the one hopper. The left fielder gathers it in. And Matt Cool decides against going home. Made the right decision there as J.R. Riddle scooped that up on the one hopper, made a nice throw to third. So a base hit for Gregor Connors, the 3rd hit of the ball game for Poway American here in their bottom half of the first as they trail by 1, looking to get themselves right back into the ball game here as quickly as they possibly can. Matt Cool at third. Joey Prast moves to second. So 1 down, bases chunked here for Tim Spooner, looking to help his own cause. Fouls that one out of play. Louis Gardet, the big guy on the mound, delivers. That one's roped out to right field. Will it fall in? No, a nice gather and a nice throw in by the right fielder, Mark Farrell. So Tim Spooner getting around a little bit late but got some nice aluminum on that ball, but a credit to Mark Farrell. The right fielder hustled in and made the play there. If that one drops in, that scores 1, possibly 2 runs. So 2 down. With the bases loaded, that brings up the third baseman, David Escobar. On deck is Brandon Gibbs, followed by Andrew Eric. Right down the middle, called strike. So Matt Cool led off the inning with a single, followed by a single by Joey Prast. Steve Guthrie went down on strikes. Gregor Connors singled. And Tim Spooner flying out to right. David Escobar, the 6th batter for Poway American. One foul back towards the backstop. So now it's Louis Gardet's turn to see if he can try to get out of a potential productive inning here for Poway American. Two balls and 2 strikes to count on Escobar. He belts that one. That one gets through the hole between first and second, and Matt Cool comes across. They're going to send Joey Prast. He comes in as well, and Steve Guthrie, or actually make that Gregor Connors, comes in as well, as the ball doesn't come into the infield as fluidly as Poway National would like. So 3 runs come across for American. David Escobar with a 2-run double. The 3rd run coming in on the pass ball. So with 2 down, 3 runs have come across, brings up Brandon Gibbs, the right fielder. Andrew Eric is on deck, followed by Jerome Templeton. Brandon Gibbs, the 7th batter for Poway American. There might possibly be an appeal here. Poway National under the impression that Poway American, one of the players not touching, and the player is out. That is the call. The third base umpire, Joe Cribben, does call one of the runners out. And we'll get a ruling as to see whether one of the runs may be negated. As the score is set at 3-1, it appears that the umpire, Mark Bernstein, going over to the official score to explain it. We'll have an answer for you here in a moment, as it appeared that Poway American picked up 3 runs, and at the end of 1 complete inning of play here at Kit Carson Park, they go out in front 3-1. But we'll have a correction for you if necessary. The second runner that came across then, okay, that's negated. Wow. So third base umpire Joe Cribben in your screen after the appeal, calling Joey Prast out for apparently not touching third, and that actually not only negates Joey Prast's run, but that negates Gregor Connors' run as well. So at the end of 1 complete inning of play, we're tied up at 1 run apiece here. And leading things off in the top of the second for Poway National is the right fielder Mark Farrell. It happens virtually every time a player makes a nice play out in the field and comes to bat as the first player at the plate in the following inning. That's the case here, as Mark Farrell made that nice grab out in right field in the first inning. On deck is Louis Gardet, followed by Russell Whitman. Fouled out of play along the right field side. So Poway National coming up with a run in their first half of the first inning. Adam Thompson responsible for that run. Breaking ball low and in the dirt. Let's take a look here at the All-Star break, at the standings. In the big leagues, the San Francisco Giants in the National League West, 9 games out in front of the Atlanta Braves. The Astros and Dodgers, a dozen games back. And the Padres in the cellar. They've lost 4 in a row, and they're in the cellar. The Colorado Rockies expansion squad out in front of them. Mark Farrell fouls that one along the screen on the first base side. But to think that the Padres last August were actually in contention in the National League West have fallen to last place. That's a shame. In the National League East, the Philadelphia Phillies 5 games out in front of St. Louis. We'll take a look at the American League here in a moment. Mark Farrell watches that one. The breaking ball come inside and then just catch the corner of the plate. So a nice location there by Tim Spooner. And that brings up the pitcher, Louis Gardet, seeing his first plate appearance of the evening. Tim Spooner delivers, and Gardet takes a nice cut at it, has his body situated there in the front portion of the box. And now backs up and actually lines his body up about even with the plate. Seemed almost back up a hair there. Just missing on the outside corner. I tell you, the only real races in Major League Baseball are in the American League. In the American League West, Chicago, 1 game out in front of the Royals and Texas, and Seattle and California, only 2 games back. Ball outside. California doing a nice job getting a lot of production from the young players. Easily, Tim Salmon, Torey Lovello, J.T. Snow, getting some good pitching by Finley and Mark Langston, who's starting in the All-Star game tonight as we speak, actually. Right down the middle. Call strike. Evens up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes on Louis Gardet. The breaking ball hit right back to the mound. Tim Spooner with the throw over. So 2 up and 2 down for Poway National, and that brings up Russell Whitman. Rounding out the standings in the American League East. What a division here. Listen to this. Toronto, just a half game out in front of the Tigers. New York Yankees are 1 game back. The Baltimore Orioles are only a game and a half back. In Boston, they're in it. They're only 3 games back. So a couple great races there in the American League. Both of those respective divisions. Russell Whitman, the catcher. On deck is Blair Barker. Spooner delivers, and a chopper on the third base side in foul territory. So Russell just having an opportunity to get his legs loose there. He can make contact once again. He'll be thoroughly warmed up. Immediately following the game, please join us for the post-game show. We'll have an opportunity to speak with the players, find out their thoughts on tonight's game. Maybe some better games on this season for them as they are all All-Stars. All that and much, much more as that one catches the outside corner. Swing and a miss for strike 2. So again, please join us for the post-game show. Find out a little bit about the players. Breaking ball. So 3 up and 3 down after 1.5 innings of play. As we go to the top of the second, it's 1-1. Leading things off in the bottom of the second for Poway American is Brandon Gibbs, the right fielder. Ball inside to Brandon. On deck is Andrew Eric. And in the hole is Jerome Templeton. One ball and no strike, the count on Gibbs. Ball low and outside. You are watching a George Langevin production presentation. If you'd like a copy of this video presentation or any future sporting event brought your way via play-by-play, complete with a post-game show, please give us a call at 549-9952. Big cut there. Fouling it back is Brandon Gibbs, sets the count at 2 balls and 1 strike. So Poway American, who had a nice inning the bottom of the first. What an impression. They picked up a few runs, only to have 2 of them negated because of the appeal. A chopper to first as Lone Star makes the play unassisted. And that brings up Andrew Eric as you take a look at the talented first baseman, Brian Lone Star, who got his glove down there nicely. Had to make quite a run over there to first base and was able to make the play. Brian, one of many athletes playing a variety of sports here in the town of Poway. First pitch to Andrew Eric. Right down the middle, Jerome Templeton is on deck for American. Getting jammed just inside. The fastball inside. And Andrew having a notion to swing and then wanted to hold up there. Was unable to, so that sets the count at no balls and 2 strikes. Andrew situated in the back portion of that box wants to get a longer look at the ball as it comes in. Just missing outside, so a nice eye there by Andrew. 1 ball, 2 strikes, anything close. Look to see Andrew swinging away here as he appears to be choked up on the bat about a ½ an inch or so. Takes a whack at it, chops it right back to the mound, and they just get him. Nice hustle there by Andrew Eric as he hit it right back to Louis Gardet. Gardet went down slowly to just make sure that he was going to glove that one cleanly and then drilled it over to first. So 2 up and 2 down. Jerome Templeton, the left fielder. On deck is Matt Cool, followed by Joey Prast. 4 hits Poway American had in that first inning. Sneaking by Jerome Templeton was a nice fastball by Louis Gardet. David Escobar ended that first inning with a nice double. Joey Prast and Gregor Connors, along with Cool, coming around to score. And laid down nicely by Templeton, right back to Gardet, and he's in there for a bunt single. Nice speed there by Jerome as he laid that one down nicely. Kind of surprising the infield. Showing awesome speed down that first base line. In there for a single, the 5th base hit for Poway American this evening. Poway National with 1 base hit. Templeton, he'll steal second base quite easily as that one got away from the catcher. Russell Whitman not even making a throw down. So Poway American looking for a potential 2-out rally here would like to redeem themselves after what they probably feel is kind of a mental error. As we didn't really get the exact ruling on that play, but it did appear that one of the players failed to touch third, and that therefore negating his run and the run that followed him, which was Gregor Connors. 1-1 the score here. We're in the bottom of the second. Jerome Templeton standing at second. Matt Cool trying to put American out in front with that swing. He's 1 for 1 in the ball game. Came around to score the lone run, if you will, for Poway American. Hits a high chopper to short, gloved, and Templeton trying to advance from second to third was caught there. The nice play by the shortstop, Blair Barker. So at the end of 2 complete innings of play here at Kit Carson Park in Escondido, it's Poway American 1, Poway National 1 as well. Blair Barker leading things off in the top of the third for Poway National. Blair 1 for 1 on the evening, batting 1,000 here. Eventually was forced out at third base. Ball high and outside. On deck is Adam Thompson, followed by Noah Behringer. Tim Spooner lets go and sends that one down low towards the plate. Just high enough to be called strike, evens up the count. Or actually, make it 2 balls and 1 strike, the count. Blair Barker looking to go 2 for 2 here, ball high. That one's somewhat of a floater there by Tim Spooner. Poway National bringing 6 players to the plate, scoring a run in the first, and we're 3 up, 3 down in the second. Ball outside, just missing, and Blair Barker with a nice eye there. Reaches with a walk. And that would bring up Adam Thompson, who walked in his first plate appearance, eventually coming around to score the first run of the ball game, and a timeout is called. Adam Thompson stepping in for Poway National. Lays one down nicely, right back to the mound. Scooped up and thrown out in time. So a nice play there by Tim Spooner, as he had to come well off the mound to retrieve that one. Gunned it over to first to get Adam Thompson. Thompson able to sacrifice Blair Barker over to second. Noah Behringer, who reached on a fielder's choice, eventually was stranded on third in the first. On deck is Jesse Mills, followed by Brian Lone Star. He might have went around. Either way, the ball gets by Joey Prast, and Blair Barker advances to third. Barker representing the go-ahead run here for the national squad. We'll take a look here in a little while at some of the starters for the All-Star game here in the big leagues. Shortstop scoops it, and a nice play there by Guthrie. That one hit hard on the ground to short, and Steve coming up nicely to not only scoop that one up, but to make an accurate throw as well. Kind of tough to do when you're trying hard, your concentration, and nail that runner at the plate. And Guthrie doing just that. So that negates the potential go-ahead run by Blair Barker. And Noah Behringer reaches on the fielder's choice. So 2 down, 1 on. Jesse Mills, who hit the ball hard. Hit it actually right at Gregor Connors. The throw down, not in time. And on deck is Brian Lone Star. In the hole is J.R. Riddle. Ball low. The second consecutive throw down. And Noah Behringer having no problem getting back in time. Tim Spooner set to deliver. And catches the outside corner there. So both pitchers very adept at catching the corners on each side of the plate. Two balls and 1 strike. The breaking ball, low and inside. Sets the count at 3 balls and 1 strike. With 2 outs and 1 runner on. That's Noah Behringer after reaching on that fielder's choice. Just outside. Jesse Mills reaches with a walk. Moving Noah Behringer to second. So with 2 down, there's 2 on for Brian Lone Star. Brian made decent contact in his first plate appearance, hit the ball out to right field. Brandon Gibbs unable to hold on for the duration. Brian eventually moving to second on the play. Ball outside. So in what appeared to be a timeout call, they actually resume play here. Brian Lone Star steps back in. Joey Pratt just wanted to have a word with Tim Spooner. Try to settle him down a little bit. So Noah Behringer's on second. Jesse Mills after the walk is on first. There's 2 outs for Brian Lone Star. Looking to keep things going here with 2 down. Ball low, that will load him up. J.R. Riddle coming to the plate here as a timeout is called. We'll be back in a moment. J.R. flew out to the catcher in his first plate appearance. Watches that pitch by Spooner. Nail the outside corner. So Noah Behringer at third, Jesse Mills at second, and Brian Lone Star at first with 2 outs. J.R. Riddle. Second consecutive strike. 2 fastballs by Tim Spooner trying to rear down here. Trying to get himself out of a possible big inning for Poway National with 3 runners on. Breaking ball and a nice pitch there. Nice job by Tim Spooner. And at the end of 2.5 innings of play, it's 1-1. Joey Prast, the talented catcher, leading things off here for Poway American in the bottom of the third. First pitch, well inside. Joey backing away from that one. But Joey had a base hit. He's batting 1,000 here. Came around to score a run that was later negated on the appeal play. You can rewind the video and take a look at yourself because we never got an explanation from the umpire on the base paths as to what the actual call was. A high chopper to short, the long throw over. And Joey Prast in there with an infield single as Blair Barker had to go well back in the hole, make the throw over. And a nice strong throw at that, but the distance just a little bit too far. And Joey Prast prevails. His second base hit of the ball game. He's 2 for 2. So nice hustle there for Joey Prast. And that brings up Steve Guthrie. Steve went down on strikes in his first plate appearance. Made up for it, though, with a fine play in the field as he gunned a runner down at home. Hits that one towards the second base side. A possible double play here, but Guthrie too fast as Joey Prast is forced out at second. And Steve Guthrie will reach on a fielder's choice. One down, Guthrie on first, and that brings up Gregor Connors. Gregor had a single, one of the players that scored a run that was negated as well. Tim Spooner is on deck. That one fouled back and actually catching the top portion of the helmet of the catcher, Russell Whitman. Russell not shaken up at all on the play as we resume here. Louis Gardet delivers. And that one fouled out of play here on the first base side. Gregor Connors. He steps out. Apparently not comfortable with something. Looks over towards the third base coach and then steps back in. That one hit right up the middle. Should get through and does. A single for Gregor Connors. He's 2 for 2 this evening. That the 7th hit of the ball game for Poway American. Leading in the hits category, as the national squad only has 1 hit thus far. Fairly even game for the pitchers. Louis Gardet has struck out 1. Tim Spooner has struck out 3. So 1 down. Guthrie is on second. Gregor Connors on first. Tim Spooner, who flew out to right field. Takes a nice cut. 2 strikes. David Escobar is on deck, followed by Brandon Gibbs. Ball low. So Poway American looking for another big inning here. Only 1 down with 2 runners on. Spooner hits one to the third base side, and a beautiful grab there by the third baseman. Trying to reach his hand up and tag Steve Guthrie as he was advancing to third, but was unable to get his hands up quick enough. And that allows Tim Spooner to reach safely, and everybody advances. So you could count that unofficially as an infield single for Tim Spooner. 1 for 2 on the evening, and that brings up David Escobar, the third baseman. So Joey Prast led off with a single. Steve Guthrie hit the ball in the infield, and Prast was forced out. Guthrie was left on first, and that was fouled out of play. Bases chunked here with 1 out, and that one hit along the first base side once again, and Lone Star able to come over and make the play. And that brings up Brandon Gibbs. So Louis Gardet trying once again to get himself out of a possible jam here. Brandon Gibbs, the 6th batter of the inning for Poway American. Brandon Gibbs squares around. That one just gets by him as he attempted to lay that one down, which is somewhat surprising with 2 down. Trying to reach via the bunt. Brandon hit the ball to the third baseman last time, who made the play unassisted, so he was able to get around. He has that good bat speed. Let's see what he can do here with 2 down and the bases loaded. One to one remains a score. Timeout once again. The 1-1 delivery, and that one smacked right at the second baseman. A nice grab there by Adam Thompson. And Poway National gets out of it. At the end of 3 complete innings of play, Poway American picks up a couple of hits, make that 3 hits, unable to score a run. And as we go to the top of the 4th, it's Poway National 1, Poway American 1. Mark Farrell watches the first pitch as he leads off the top of the 4th here. Go right down the pipe by Tim Spooner, still on the mound for Poway American. The 0-1 delivery coming in from Spooner. Ball high and outside. So Mark went down on strikes in the 2nd inning. Will look to redeem himself here. Let's take a look, as promised, at the All-Stars. Starting at catcher in the National League is Darren Dalton. 65 RBIs already at the halfway mark. Right down the pipe for the 2nd strike. Starting at first base is John Kruk, a former San Diego Padre. Actually, a lot of San Diego Padres playing in this All-Star game. But Kruk batting .350 with 73 walks he's got already. 51 RBIs, having quite a season. The breaking ball, and they got him. Mark Farrell goes down on strikes. And that will bring up Louis Gardet, the pitcher. Ryan Sandberg is starting at second base for the National League, batting .293. At third base is Gary Sheffield, the former San Diego Padre, just traded to the Marlins. Actually, the first player voted as a starter in an All-Star game as an expansion team player. So congratulations to Gary Sheffield, batting just under .300, has 42 RBIs, 13 home runs already. Barry Larkin ending the streak of Ozzie Smith. Ozzie started 10 All-Star games in a row. Barry Larkin batting .319. Get this, he has 109 hits already. 48 RBIs. So a deserving start for Barry Larkin. In the outfield is Barry Bonds having that phenomenal season, batting .348, has 104 hits, 71 RBIs, leads the league in home runs with 24. Right down the pipe. Called strike. Sets the count of 2 balls and 1 strike on Louis Gardet. David Justice, also in the outfield, has 58 ribbies and 20 home runs. Swinging late is Gardet. Evens up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Andy Van Slyke was voted as a starter, but it was injured. So Marquise Grissom getting the starting nod in place of Andy Van Slyke. 2-2 delivery right down the pipe as they get Gardet. So 2 consecutive strikeouts for Tim Spooner. Spooner actually getting the best of the pitching duel here. I was giving them equal credit an inning ago, but Spooner doing a little bit better. That's 5 strikeouts in the ball game. Russell Whitman at the plate. Spooner in somewhat of a little bit of a rhythm here. Terry Mulholland, by the way, got the starting nod as the pitcher in the National League All-Stars. That one roped out to right center. Russell Whitman rounding first and will hold up at first. So a long single there as Russell Whitman spanked that one out to right center. It appeared to hit the fence on the one hopper there, and that's why he's at first base, because he hit that one so sharply. By the time he got to first base, the outfielder had already retrieved that one off the fence. So Russell Whitman representing the first runner here in the top of the 4th for Poway National. And that will bring up Blair Barker, the leadoff hitter. Blair 1 for 1 on the evening. Patrick Mueller in your screen wearing number 3, coming in for Russell Whitman as a pinch runner. Blair Barker about to step in for Poway National. And as he does that, let's take a look at the American League. Ivan Rodriguez getting the start at catcher with 39 ribbies, batting .272, a respectable season so far. Spooner delivers. Called strike. He's in a nice little groove here. Tim Spooner doing a nice job. John Olerud, 69 RBIs, has 37 doubles on the year, starting at first base. High pop fly to the second base side, and the shortstop, Guthrie, a little taller of the 2 players, snares that one in. So 4 up and 3 down. As we go to the bottom of the 4th, we're still all tied up at 1 apiece. David Danwick about to step in here in the bottom of the 4th for Poway American, seeing his first plate appearance as he comes in for Andrew Eric. Looked as if he had a notion to square to bunt and then held up. Pitch a little low and inside. So a nice eye by David Danwick. David has that nice low crouch. Took kind of a chopping swing there. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Probably doesn't have much of a strike zone when he crouches down like that. David, one of the smaller players on the field in height, when he crouches down, makes it very difficult for the pitcher to find that strike zone. And a nice attempt there as he tried to lay that one down third. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Let's take a look at the rest of the All-Stars. For the American League, Roberto Alomar, batting .308 and starting at second. Wade Boggs, the former Yankee, or actually former Red Sox, now a Yankee, batting .292. And Cal Ripken Jr., 45 ribbies, 12 home runs. And that one swinging a little bit late and fouled along the third base side by David Danwick. Cal Ripken, only batting .229. Probably getting voted in more from reputation than anything else. And he deserves it, as they are playing in Camden Yards in Baltimore. I'm sure he'll get quite an ovation tonight. We'll take a look at the outfield here in a moment. Ball outside. Nice eye by Danwick. Joe Carter for Toronto. Actually, 7 Toronto Blue Jays in this All-Star game. Ken Griffey Jr., batting .317. That one, oh, a nice play there by the third baseman, and the throw over in time. What a play. Jesse Mills gathered that one in. There's Danwick. You almost thought that he was going to hit the ball down the third base side there, as he fouled a couple off on the third base side initially. And again, Jesse Mills with a great play over there at third. You're scoring that at home, that's 5-3. And that brings up Jerome Templeton. He reached on a bunt single. In the second inning, went on to steal second and was stranded. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Joe Carter, by the way, 65 ribbies and 18 home runs at intermission. Ken Griffey Jr. with 60 RBIs and 22 home runs. And Kirby Puckett, 50 ribbies, 11 home runs. That's the starting outfit. A chopper to second. And the throw over by Thompson in time. So 2 up and 2 down, and that will bring up Matt Cool, the leadoff hitter for Poway American. He's 1 for 2 on the evening. Came around to score the first and only run credited for Poway American. Reached on a fielder's choice in the second. And just rounding out the starters in the National League on the mound, or for the American League rather, is Mark Langston, the 2.82 ERA. He's the starter for the American League tonight. The 9-3 record. The first pitch called strike to Matt Cool. On deck is Joey Prast and Steve Guthrie in the hole for the American squad. Ball outside. Louis Gardet throws the ball pretty nice. Both pitchers for each team have nice velocity. Mix up the fastball with the curveball. Chopper. Oh, and that one bouncing up high and hitting the face of Adam Thompson. Appears to be shaken up there as that one hit up real high, and the umpire calls timeout so that they can check on Adam. Hopefully he'll be okay. That ball just bouncing up high as if we were playing on AstroTurf tonight. So you could probably credit a base hit here to Matt Cool. A little too hot to handle as that one just jumped, and there was no way that Adam Thompson could get to that one. So they had Adam Thompson play catch with his shortstop and his pitcher for a moment there just to make sure he had his vision, and it appears to be okay. He's going to stay in the ball game. 2 down and 1 runner on for Poway American. We're still all tied up at 1 apiece here. Louis Gardet taking it all the way so far for Poway National, and Tim Spooner for the American team. That one just getting away momentarily from Russell Whitman. So the breeze gradually tapering down here. Still a little coolness in the air. here at Kit Carson Park in Escondido. Definitely a wear your jacket night. Matt Cool, credited with a single, is on first. Healthy swing there by Joey Prass, just unable to make contact. He's 2 for 2. Batting 1,000 here. Was eventually forced out at second. Steve Guthrie is on deck, followed by Gregor Connors. Big swing there by Joey Prass will even up the count at 2 apiece. The 2-2 delivery fouled out of play. Thanks, man. Louis Gardet delivers the 2-2 pitch, and that one walloped between short and third. And Joey Prass, what an evening he's having. He's 3 for 3 tonight. Hitting the ball solidly each and every time. That the second time in the ball game that Matt Cool and Joey Prass have followed one another with base hits. Poway American looking for a 2-out rally here as Steve Guthrie, who reached in the third inning on a fielder's choice, hit the ball on the ground on the second base side, steps in. Ball inside. And Steve, probably the furthest back of any of the players so far, back in that batter's box. If you take a look at his right foot there, looks like it's about 3 or 4 inches. And now he even backs up even further, about an inch from the back line. Ball outside, and that, no. Steve Guthrie puts his hands up as if to say, everybody hold up, as Matt Cool wanted to go to third. Joey Prass having a notion to go to second, but that ball ricocheting right off that wooden plank that worked as a 10th defender, if you will. It's situated right below the backstop and just went right back to the catcher. Russell Whitman turned around and said, thank you very much. It was right there in his hands. Ball outside. 3 straight balls thrown by Louis Gardet. Not looking to give Steve Guthrie anything sweet to hit here. So it'll be interesting to see if he, in fact, takes the pitch. 3 balls, no strikes. And he's swinging away. So Guthrie just looking for that fastball right down the pipe. Fouls it away. 3 balls and 1 strike to count. Gregor Connors due up next. Guthrie steps in, takes a deep breath there to relax himself. I tell you, he's taking quite a swing there. If he gets a hold of it, he might just lift one out of this ballpark. Taking that type of swing. With 2 runners on, he's got RBI time written all over his face here. Everybody will be running, 2 down. Full count. 2 runners on. Foul back towards the backstop. So Guthrie hanging in there with 2 strikes. He appears to be choking up on the bat, but not really letting up on his swing. Feels very confident at the plate. Fouls it back once again. It's always a sight to see a player foul 3, 4, 5, sometimes even more balls out of play and end up with a base hit. So let's see what Steve Guthrie can do here. The pitch, ball low, a nice eye there by Guthrie. He'll walk and load the bases. Matt Cool is on third. Joey Prass has moved to second. Steve Guthrie after the walk on first. 2 down, bases loaded for Gregor Connors, who's 1 for 2. Or actually make that 2 for 2. He's 2 for 2 tonight. Gregor Connors awaiting the first pitch. Gardet nails it. So Poway American, after that first inning, once they scored a run, unable to score here thus far. That one fouled out of play. No balls and 2 strikes the count on Gregor Connors. Gregor ropes that one out to left field. 1 run will come across. And they hold up Joey Prass. So Matt Cool comes across for the 2nd run, and Poway American goes out in front of Poway National 2-1 as Joey Prass sits on 3rd. Steve Guthrie advances to 2nd, and Gregor Connors 3 for 3 in the championship game. Has to feel great about that. Hitting the ball solidly, Joey Prass, Gregor Connors batting 1,000. A chopper to the shortstop, who makes the force out at 2nd, and they get him. But not before. On 3 hits, Poway American picks up a run, and at the end of 4 complete innings of play, it's American 2, National 1. Adam Thompson leading off in the top of the 5th for Poway National. Ball outside. Tim Spooner still on the mound for Poway American, trying to take it all the way as we'll play 6 complete innings here. Adam Thompson 0 for 1, walked and scored a run, the only run of the ball game for Poway National. The pitch and the smack in the hole. What a rope by Adam Thompson. I guess his vision is okay. We talked in last inning how that ball popped up and hit him in the face area. Appeared to be shaken up momentarily. But he's okay as he nails that one between short and 3rd for a base hit. And we spoke in the last inning how Poway American had that first run in the first inning. Were unable to score in the 2nd through 4th and then finally came up with a run. But that's the case with the Poway National squad as well. They scored a run in the first and have been unable to get on the board since then. But off to a nice start here, thanks to Adam Thompson with a single. The breaking ball, Thompson's on his way to 2nd. The throw down, a little high. A smart play there by Adam Thompson as the ball got away from Guthrie's glove. The 2nd baseman, Andrew Eric. That might even be David Danwick. And actually, it is Andrew Eric. Danwick came in to bat for Eric. Eric remaining in the field. Kept that ball in play and not allowing Adam Thompson to advance. And Thompson smartly diving back to the bag. Noah Barringer. He's reached on 2 consecutive fielder's choices. So he can make contact. His team trails by 1, 2-1 the score. On deck is Jesse Mills and Brian Lone Star in the hole for Poway National. That one hit high out to right field. Should get over towards the fence and bounces up against the fence. And coming across to tie the ball game up is Adam Thompson in the play at 2nd. Not in time as Noah Barringer gets back in time. So an RBI double for Noah Barringer. We're all tied up at 2 apiece. This one turning out to be a classic here at Kit Carson Park in Escondido. You're watching the District 31 area Little League All-Star Tournament. Nobody out. 1 run has come across. Noah Barringer on 2nd. That brings up Jesse Mills, the 3rd baseman. He's 0 for 1. lined out hard to the first baseman in his first plate appearance and then walked after that. Two consecutive hits for Poway National. That's the first time they've done that in the ball game. Their fourth hit of the evening. Could be the fifth if it drops in, but a nice grab there. What a beautiful catch by the right fielder, Brandon Gibbs. And Brandon making up for an earlier fly ball that he was unable to garner in. Brian Lone Star. 0 for 1. Brian, actually the player, we were talking about how Brandon Gibbs redeemed himself defensively after making that nice catch there. Brandon, the player that flew out to right field and got a second life as Brandon was unable to hold on. Then Brian walked in the third inning. He's 0 for 1. Ball outside. So Adam Thompson led the inning off with a single. And Noah Behringer smacking a double out to right field. That one almost nailing the fence on a fly, allowing Adam Thompson showing great speed on the bases as he was trucking around third. The coach was sending him in all the way. Tied the ball game up at 2 apiece. J.R. Riddle on deck for Poway National. Called strike. That will even up the count. Brian Lone Star looking for his base, or first base hit of the ball game. Ball low, the breaking ball. Catcher throws down and sliding in, looking like Pete Rose there with the head first slide. Noah Behringer safely at third as he calls a little timeout there to dust his body off. I tell you, he started that slide. It almost appeared from here a good 10 to 12 feet from the bag, and his body, with the speed and the momentum that he was able to garner, it was like a moonwalk on the ground as he just slid into third. That was nice. Brian Lone Star at the plate. Ball outside, and he'll walk. His second consecutive base on balls. One down, 1 run has come across. Runners on the corners here for J.R. Riddle. First pitch call strike. The steal. And Guthrie coming across in an attempt to possibly garner Noah Behringer out at home if he decides to go. But Behringer, heads up play, decided to stay at third base, so the steal successful for Brian Lone Star. Runners on second, third here. Swing and a miss by J.R. Riddle as that one gets by Joey Prast. He hustles back. Tim Spooner hustling in as well. Noah Behringer represents the third and go-ahead run here for National. J.R. Riddle. He'll go down on strikes. Nice breaking ball there by Tim Spooner. With 2 outs, Noah Behringer on third, Brian Lone Star on second. The right fielder, Mark Farrell, will come to the plate. Mark going down on strikes in his previous 2 plate appearances. There might possibly be a batting change here. We'll find out here in a moment. Danny Vaughn will step in and bat for Mark Farrell. Danny seeing his first plate appearance of the evening. Has his bat nice and high. Ball outside. Just this by Prast to play. And they get in for the run as Prast was unable to throw that one as accurately as he would have liked. And 2 runs able to come across on the pass ball. Noah Behringer scoring first, followed by Brian Lone Star. And Poway National goes out in front 4-2. So what happened there is that ball just barely slipping by Joey Prast, and that allowing Noah Behringer to have enough time to score. Prast tried to hurry the throw and just threw a little bit high over the head of Tim Spooner. Possibly a little bit too fast on the throw from just that short a distance away. Allowed the ball to go out towards the third base dugout. And far enough out towards the dugout to also allow Brian Lone Star to come across for the 4th run. So that's where we stand, 4-2. National has just went out in front of American. Danny Vaughn looking to keep this rally going here. Breaking ball, just missing outside. So 2 base hits and a pass ball wreaking havoc on Poway American. Did he go all the way? Yes. The ball was pitched high, and you saw Danny Vaughn take what appeared to be a half swing, but apparently it was more than that, as he went around just enough to have that be called strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. Tim Spooner set to deliver the 2-2 pitch. Just catching the inside corner, so nice job there by Spooner, but not before on a couple hits and a walk. Poway National picks up 3 runs, and they go out in front 4-2 as we go to the bottom of the 5th. Jesse Mills, who started the ball game off at third base, has moved to the pitcher's mound, and he'll replace Louis Gardet. And moving to third base is Ryan Field. David Escobar leading off in the bottom of the 5th for American. Takes a nice cut, fouls that one back towards the wooden plank. David had a double in the first inning, then flew out to first base in the 3rd, so he's 1 for 2. And I got so enveloped in the ball game, I almost forgot the answers to the trivia question. So again, which player from each league in the major leagues was flirting with 400 throughout the whole first half of the season? As that one's chopped down the third base side, just foul. But here's the answers, as you've had plenty of time to think about it. For the American League, it's John Olerud for the Toronto Blue Jays, who is batting over 400 virtually the whole half of the season, has just recently dropped to 395. That's his average at the halfway mark. And for the National League, he's on an expansion team, the Colorado Rockies. Yes, first baseman Andres Galarraga. Ball outside. So those are the answers for the players. And for the parents, I asked which major league player just this past May, it was actually May 13th, 1993, became one of only 6 players There's only 5 other players to gain this feat. 3,000 hits, 300 home runs. Name that player. I'll give you a hint. Plays on an American League team. A big cut there. And David Escobar retired on strikes. The answer, he plays for the Kansas City Royals. George Brett. Brandon Gibbs about to step in here for Poway American. Brandon lined out to the second baseman in his last plate appearance. Got a hold of the ball well. The delivery, the chopper right back to the mound. Mills picks it up and fires it over in time. That no surprise, Jesse Mills going from third base to pitcher. He's got an arm. He can gun it. So again, congratulations to you if you answer the trivia questions properly. And the other players, if you're curious in that George Brett trivia question, the other players have 3,000 hits and 300 are Stan Musial, Hank Aaron, Al Kaline, Willie Mays, and Carl Yastrzemski. So those are the answers to the trivia questions. Laid down nice along the first base side. Mills can't get to it in time. And an infield single for Andrew Eric. Andrew 1 for 2 in the ball game as David Danwick came in to pinch hit for him in the 4th. Andrew coming up with a base hit here. Matt Luckham stepping in for Poway American, seeing his first plate appearance of the evening. And that one hit out to right field. It might drop in, and it does. As Andrew Eric will advance to third, showing nice beat out there. And Matt Luckham comes off the bench to garner a single and keep a little rally going here with 2 outs for American as they trail 4-2. They need to get themselves back into the ball game, and not a bad time to do it with runners on the corners. Matt Cool scored a couple runs in the ball game. It's 2 for 3. Squares around the bunt. The steal sliding in easily, as it was not even a throw down, was Matt Luckham. So Poway American trying very hard to get themselves right back into the ball game, as Matt Luckham represents the tying run. A ball low to Matt Cool. And Matt, not a bad player to have at the plate here with 2 runners in scoring position. As we mentioned, he is 2 for 3, making contact all 3 times. On deck is Joey Prast and Steve Guthrie in the hole for Poway American. Swing and a miss for strike 2. So Matt Cool will have to bear down here and elevate his concentration level here with 2 strikes. There's also 2 down, 2 runners on. Just outside. Two balls and 2 strikes to count. The 2-2 delivery by Mills and a higher chopper to third. The throw over in time. So Poway National gets out of it. And at the end of 5 innings of play, it's Poway National 4, Poway American 2. Tim Spooner taking it all the way here. First pitch outside to Ryan Field. Ryan coming into the ballgame in the previous inning in the third base slot as Jesse Mills moved over to pitch. Ball high. Ryan looking at his first plate appearance of the ball game. So all the players having an opportunity to play, and that's the way it should be. Ball high. Ryan Field making a little cross there with his bat. Probably a ritual of his. Right down the pipe. Call strike. Three balls and one strike the count. Ball outside, and Ryan Field does a nice job as he works his way on for a bunt. And that brings up Russell Whitman, the catcher. Russell hit the ball hard in his last plate appearance. Drilled one up against the fence, almost in the air. Was on a one bouncer. Was held up at first base. He hit the ball so hard. So Ryan Field, who came into bat for Louis Gardet, did a nice job as a leadoff hitter. He got on and walks as good as a hit. You've heard that saying. Ball inside. Little breaking ball there. The throw down by Joey Prast. Ryan Field back in time. 4-2, Poway National looking to add to their lead here. Ball high. That one just missing the strike zone there of Russell Whitman. One of the taller, sizable players on the field this evening. Oh, and hit by a pitch is Russell Whitman. Tim Spooner, it appeared, tried to come in with a little sidearm breaking ball there. That one just getting away from him. And Russell Whitman will reach safely. Nobody down, runners on first and second. Blair Barker about to hit against Spooner. Spooner throws a breaking ball. Both runners having a notion to steal, but that one scooped up nicely by Joey Prast to negate any type of advancement by the runners. So Ryan Field led the inning off with a walk. Russell Whitman was hit by the pitch. Scooped up and getting away from Prast. And both runners advance. So Tim Spooner possibly getting a little bit tired at this juncture. He's got 7 strikeouts. He's pitched a nice ball game. But the previous batter we had mentioned was hit by the pitch. And his last 2 pitches in the dirt. So might possibly be feeling the effects of a long ball game here as we are in the 6th inning. Blair Barker. 1 for 2 tonight. On deck is Adam Thompson and Noah Behringer in the hole. So Tim Spooner will move to left field. And the starting left fielder, Jerome Templeton, as we scan to the pitcher's mound. Jerome Templeton, who started out in left, will be into the pitching for Poway American. Blair Barker steps back in, and he'll face Jerome Templeton. In to pitch for Tim Spooner. Spooner did a nice job only gave up 4 hits, had 7 strikeouts on the evening. Just ran into a case of a tired arm there. The game dragging on here. Jerome Templeton set to deliver. Right down the pipe. So Jerome needing no pitches to warm up. Sends his first pitch right down the middle. 3 balls and 1 strike, the count. Second pitch right down the middle as well. So Jerome finding a rhythm here right off the bat. Has that nice overhand delivery. Decent velocity. 3-2 pitch. That one hit high out to center field and is catchable. They throw home off target, and they're going to send the runner, and Ryan Field is in there safely. For the 5th run of the ball game for Poway National. Russell Whitman advances to 3rd. Adam Thompson steps in. Ball high. Ball comes right back to Joey Prast off that wooden plank. Adam hit the ball very solidly. In the 5th inning, he's 1 for 2. Scored a couple runs for Poway National. Noah Behringer's in the hole. Ball inside to Thompson. Poway National extending their lead. 5-2, the score. A chopper over the third baseman's head. An RBI single for Adam Thompson as he rounds first. And what a chopper that was. That one going about 20 feet over the third baseman's head. So the hard turf working against Adam in the field and working to his vantage point at the plate. He bounced that one over the third baseman. And Russell Whitman comes across for the 6th run. 6-2 the score. Adam Thompson having a notion to steal there. Apparently feeling that the ball did not get far enough away from Joey Prast to warrant an attempt. So Adam Thompson, 2 for 3 on the evening. Having a nice ball game for Poway National. That one roped to the shortstop. Guthrie with a phenomenal stab at that one. Made the force out to get Thompson at second. What a play by Steve Guthrie. Jesse Mills. Ball inside. That allows Noah Behringer to move to second. 2 down, 2 runs have come across here in the top of the 6th. Noah Behringer safely on second. And catching the outside corner is Jerome Templeton. Brian Lone Star's on deck, and that one hit hard between first and second. That should score Noah Behringer. The throw to second and sliding in safely is Jesse Mills. 7-2 the score. Poway National moving well out in front. RBI by Jesse Mills. And that brings up Brian Lone Star. Brian walked, came around to score a run in the 5th. The throw over to a first, the appeal, and the umpire Joel Ewan says he was safe. Ball high. So Ryan Field led things off. Russell Whitman was hit by a pitch as Templeton deals that one inside. Blair Barker flew out to center field. And Adam Thompson came up and singled. That one right down the pipe by Templeton. And Noah Behringer hit the ball real hard on the ground. And a great play by Guthrie to force Adam Thompson out at second. Jesse Mills has since singled. That one might get over the second baseman's head and doesn't. A nice play there by Andrew Eric. And that will do it. But not before, in the top of the sixth. On 3 hits, Poway National picks up 3 more runs, and they go well out in front of Poway American by a score of 7-2. Joey Prast awaits the first pitch here in the final inning. We're in the bottom of the 6th. Poway American with one more opportunity. They trail by 5. Joey Prast 3 for 3 on the evening. On deck is Steve Guthrie. Prast hits one that might get through, and what a stab by the shortstop who makes the throw over. But Brian Lone Star's foot comes off the bag. So Joey Prast will reach safely. And you can score that an infield single or a possible throwing error if that one actually was just off target on the throw. But shortstop Blair Barker just doing a great job to keep that one in the infield. I'd have to say give him an infield single. Joey Prast unofficially 4 for 4 on the evening. And that brings up Steve Guthrie. Steve 0 for 2 in the ball game. Walked his last time up. Fouls that one back towards the backstop. Steve making some phenomenal plays out on the field defensively. Would like to do just as nice a job at the plate here. On deck is Gregor Connors and Tim Spooner in the hole. Guthrie swinging just over the top of the ball. No balls and 2 strikes to count. Steve just having a little mental conversation with himself as if to say, hey, you've got 2 strikes. You're down by 5 runs here. You need to make contact. Joey Prast on first. Ball low. Seven to 2. Poway National with 2 back-to-back productive innings, the 5th and the 6th, in which they scored 3 runs in each of those innings. The pitch to Guthrie, and he belts that one out to right center. Will that one get out of here? No, it's up against the fence and gets underneath the fence, so that will be a ground rule double for Steve Guthrie as he nailed that one out to right center. Gregor Connors, 3 for 3 this evening at the plate. Hits a fister right up the middle. Shortstop comes over. And a base hit and an RBI for Gregor Connors as Joey Prast comes around to score. Steve Guthrie advances to third. I tell you, that an interesting hit by Gregor. Was potentially jammed inside, strong enough to fist that one out towards the second base bag. And Blair Barker, little English on the ball, wasn't able to scoop that up in time. The throw down, the tag, they get him, but a run will score. As Steve Guthrie comes across for the 4th run, 7-4 the score. So the double steal in effect. Gregor Connors nailed at second. 2 runs have come across, so 1 down. 7-4 the score, and Tim Spooner comes to the plate. Hit the ball on the ground to the shortstop in his last plate appearance. So Joey Prass led off the inning with a single, and Steve Guffrey lifted one out to right center that almost looked as if it might leave the ballpark. He had a ground rule double. High fly to third. 2 down. David Escobar will come to the plate. David 1 for 3 on the evening. Armando Lopez will step in place of David Escobar with 2 down here. And he drills that one to first, and Lodestar gets his glove down and makes the play, and Poway National will win it 7-4 over Poway American. They will move on to district play.